Hey guys, it's Edie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing well. And in today's video we're going to be doing a reading vlog where I read books from the Afterlight subscription and see if it's worth it. It is currently 9 AM and it's currently, I think it's like 28 degrees already, 26. And I'm boiling hot. I've got my window open very slightly, so if you can hear noises from outside, sorry about that, but I can't physically cope without it open. I've been part of the Afterlight subscription for, I want to say, about over a year now, and I think I've read maybe 6 books out of the books that I've gotten, so I was like, I'll do a video reading some of them, get them off my physical TBR and see if the subscription is actually worth it, because I kind of like it. So I have chosen 3 books, and the books I've chosen, the first one is Hot Summer by Ellie Everhart, that's what I'm trying to say. The second book is Under Lock and Key by Lorna Ferguson, and the last book is One Last Shot by Betty Coyote. That's definitely wrong, but yeah, those are the 3 books I've chosen. These are spray digest on them. Look at how pretty this one is. Oh, I'm dying, but I've chosen this Hot Summer and One Last Shot because they're kind of summery reads, and it's currently June, beginning of July when I'm filming this, 1st of July, so I was like, start off with some summery reads, and then Under Lock and Key is on my July TBR, so that'll be a TBR book off. So the first one I want to start with is Hot Summer, and if I remember correctly, this is like almost like a book about people on like a reality TV shows like Love Island, if I remember correctly, and it's like a sapphic romance. So I'm just going to start reading this book, and I'm going to come back to you guys once I'm halfway through with it. It is now the next day and I'm halfway through this book, and this book basically follows Cass and Ada. And Cass, to be able to get this promotion at work, she works as like almost a host for like dating things, essentially, I believe. And to be able to get this promotion, she's been told to basically go on Love Island, which is, it's not called Love Island, I don't know what it's called, but like a Love Island show in this book, to be able to get the promotion, and she has to make it to the finals to be able to get the promotion. So she has no other choice but to go on this show, so she goes on it, and the first person she meets is this other girl called Ada, and they get along pretty much instantly, and they both find out they're bisexual. They are, I believe, yeah, they're both bisexual, and they find that pretty much they're out straight away when they meet, so they instantly have this like sort of connection. And then other things start to happen in the villa, and I'm actually really liking it so far. I don't remember if I said this when I first picked up this book, that I was like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it because I don't like Love Island. I've never really watched it anymore, but I'm really liking this book. I think it's really fun, it's really sweet. You've probably just seen in the clip that I've just recorded of me reading part of the book. Oh, it's starting to like heat up, the tension is starting to build, and it's just so good. I'm really liking Ada as a character and the things that have been happening to her in the villa with Brad. Ugh, I hate Brad. Brad in this book is just so horrible. I don't even know what word to describe him with, but he is not a nice guy. And Cass, I'm really liking her character. I'm really interested to see her grow, because she's definitely got some room to grow, and she does realise she's got things she could work on, so I'm very interested to see what happens with that. But I am really liking it. It's very much giving off summer vibes because it's set in like a Love Island villa of like a game show like Love Island. If you don't know what Love Island is, I assume most of you do. It's basically this TV show where they pick very attractive men and women, put them in this like villa in the summer, in some hot country, and they get coupled up and they basically do challenges and they can recouple with new people and things like that. It's like a love show basically. But yeah, this is essentially that in a book, and I'm really liking Cass and Femi, I believe that's his name's friendship. It is so cute, so adorable. The things he said to Cass about the recoupling, oh, I just love him. But yeah, this is actually really good. I'm very pleasantly surprised by this. I feel like, I don't think it's quite a 4-star at the moment. I see it have the possibility of being a 4-star, so maybe it's sitting at 3.75, but I would at this moment 100% recommend this book if you love like Love Island, because it is very much giving off that vibe. But what I'm also intrigued about to see if they actually do recouple with Kaz and Ada in this book. They must recouple together at some point, but I'm very excited and intrigued to see when that happens, so I'm going to carry on reading this today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish the rest of it, but I'll try to. But I'm just going to come back to you guys once I've finished this book. I've now finished Hot Summer by Ellie Everhart, and oh my god, I absolutely love this book. I know I'm giving it 4 stars. I think I've said this in this video multiple times, but I don't watch Love Island, and this is kind of inspired by the show, you could say. And maybe I should have gone into this book with more of an open mind about liking it, because oh my god, I have loved it. I thought I wouldn't like it because it's like a Love Island based thing, but no, the complete opposite. I loved this book. It was so much fun. The drama that was happening with all the other contestants and all of that, it was just so entertaining, and I just really liked it. And I thought all the moments between Cass and Ada were just so cute. It was adorable, and it was just a really fun read, and just like the perfect book for summer. Even if you don't love Love Island, the TV show, give this book a go because it was so much fun. So the next book I want to pick up is Under Lock and Key by Lorna Ferguson, and I know this is set in Scotland, and I know there's something to do with the Loch Ness Monster maybe in this book. Don't really remember too much or know too much about it, but I've read quite a few of Lorna Ferguson's other books and I've loved them all, so I am very excited about this one. I'm very intrigued as well, especially if there's something to do with the Loch Ness Monster. I don't know what about it, but that just intrigues me. And this is the Afterlight exclusive edition. It's just so pretty. And then wait till you see the naked hardcover. Oh, stunning. And then you've also got these really pretty end papers as well on it. So I'm going to start reading this, and then I'm going to come back once I am halfway through this book with some of my first thoughts and my first feelings about it. So I'm now halfway through this book and I'm really liking it. This basically follows Key and Lachlan, and Lachlan is a Scottish guy. He lives in Scotland, somewhere rural I think, and he basically has this kind of like big secret, you could say. Key's family is originally from Scotland, but her dad met this American lady and moved to America, and he had Key. And Key's father recently just passed away, and he grew up telling her stories about this like Loch Ness monster that saved him, or somebody that saved him one day. And she's always heard this growing up, and she decides to go back there to visit her family, to see her grandparents, because she's never really had any contact with her grandparents, because as soon as her dad walked out of his parents' lives, they like cut ties completely. So I think she maybe met them when she was a baby. No, I don't think she's ever actually met them. So she goes and she wants to meet them and see them. And it turns out that Lachlan and Key's family have this like kind of very long history that has something to do with a curse that's being placed on Lachlan's family, specifically on all the males in Lachlan's family. And this is very much a monster romance, and it is really fun at the moment. I don't know if it is quite 4 stars yet. Possibility of being 4 stars, but I haven't read really many monster romances, but I feel like this might be a good introduction into monster romances, because I probably, compared to some, this isn't that much. Well, so far at least. I'm not sure, I'm only halfway through, but that's what I've kind of gathered from seeing other people post about this book on social media. It's a good entry point because it's still sort of somewhat of a rom-com, but with just like a monster romance in it, or as you could call it, a shapeshifter romance as well, because Lachlan's kind of a shapeshifter, you could say. Being halfway through this book, you kind of discover and find out a lot about the history and what could have happened to cause this curse. You kind of find that out, but I feel like there's just so much more that's probably to come, and I'm very excited, but then also not nervous, but I'm like, oh, what's going to happen? But yeah, it is really good, really fun. It did take me a while to get into this book, and I don't know if it's because of how the dialogue for Lachlan was written, because he is Scottish, he has a Scottish accent, he lives there, born and bred, so it's like his dialogue is like written how he sounds. Does that make sense? I think so. It's written very Scottish accent thing. I don't really know if I'm describing it right, but hopefully you can get that. It's not just like the words that are like the English dictionary words. It's like how you would say it with a Scottish accent written on the paper. Does that make sense? I don't know, but that took me a while to get in because I was a bit afraid. I was like, oh, but then it does make sense because he is Scottish. But I know there's other books that are set in different countries that speak English that have different accents, but they're not written like that. That took me a while to wrap my head around. Don't know if that's because I'm dyslexic and it takes my brain a while to figure things out, but I feel like it didn't take me out of the story, but I'm not as attached to the characters. Maybe it's because of that. I don't really know, but it's not bad. I'm really having a good time while reading it. It's just that one thing that is bugging me a little bit. It's not bugging me as much anymore because I've gotten used to it while reading it, but at first I was just a bit like, whoa, what? It takes my brain a while to process that sort of thing. I'm just going to now carry on reading this book, and I am probably just going to come back to you guys once I'm finished with this book. So it's quite a few hours later in the day, and I've now finished Under Lock and Key by Lorna Ferguson, and I'm settled on giving it a 3 stars because it's not that this book was bad, it's just very slow at the start, and like I mentioned in my halfway check-in with the writing, it took me a while to get into it. But I did end up liking this book, but also one point, I felt like they had very good physical chemistry because at the end, the spice and the smut kind of took over the book, but I felt like they lacked that emotional like connection and chemistry. I don't know what it was, I just felt like there was something missing. But this book was fun. I wouldn't say it was very fast paced, it took me a while to read it, but I did have a lot of fun while reading it, and I did really enjoy the plot of this book, of how the curse and trying to find the thing for the curse. It wasn't predictable, but I did kind of see what was going to happen coming, so I guess you could say it was predictable, but I don't always think that's a bad thing. I kind of like thinking, oh, is that going to be it? And when I'm right, I'm like, yes, I got it right. So I wasn't upset or mad about it that I guessed what was going to happen, but if you like being shocked and you like being like, I don't know what word I'm trying to think of, but like, I don't know, but if you know what I mean, if you want the shock factor of the reveal maybe of what's happened, or the reveal of the big thing for the plot of this book, you might not like this because it is, I would say, fairly obvious. I've seen a few reviews of people that said it was obvious and they could see it coming, so if you don't like that, maybe you won't like this book, but I'd still say give it a go because it is a fun read. So that is everything for my thoughts and feelings on this book. The final book I'm going to be reading in this video is One Last Shot by Betty Coyote. I feel like I'm butchering that name, but this is the last book I'm going to pick up. I don't think I'm going to pick it up today, I'm not really sure. I might pick it up this evening, but I just want to relax a bit. I want to watch a bit of TV. But from what I remember about reading the blurb of this book, I don't think it's a second chance, but I think they were like friends when they were like younger, maybe as teenagers, and they had this pact. I think it was something like that. And is it set? I think it might be set in Italy. I think it might be as well because the cover kind of gives off Italian vibes, but that's vaguely what I remember this book about. But I'm gonna probably start reading this maybe later tonight or tomorrow, and I'll come back with you when I'm halfway through this book with some thoughts and feelings of it. So it's a couple days later, I think, from when I done my update. I'm about 150 pages into this book. It's not quite halfway yet, but I thought I'd do a update anyway, and I am really liking this book. It's so good, it's so much fun. And this book follows Emerson and Theo. Emerson is this very well-known, very like a supermodel essentially, and Theo is a photographer that photographers, you know what I mean, like models for like a brand. And they were like best friends all throughout high school, and then something essentially happened when they were 18. Still don't know quite what happened. There's like little hints, but you don't know the full story. You haven't worked that way up in that timeline. But something happened when they're essentially 18, and it caused them to not be friends anymore, and they haven't spoken since they were 18. Fast forward to 10 years later when they're both 28. They both get this reminder on their phone that they made this pact when they were younger. I don't think it was when they were 18, it was when they were younger, but this pact they made was basically when they turn 28, 10 years after they graduated, if they haven't found love, if they aren't married, if they aren't happy in a relationship, they are got a pact to marry each other within a week, because their birthdays are a week apart and they plan to get married in that week essentially. Like I said, they haven't spoken to each other in those 10 years, so they don't really, I could say you don't really get along, because something obviously bad happened for them not to be friends anymore. And Emerson finds out that Theo's doing this photo shoot for this company, and she basically gets her agent to get her on to this photo shoot so she can meet up with Theo and see if she can marry him within the week that they had originally set, because otherwise she has to be in this like fake relationship with this other guy for a whole year. And even though she was like really good friends with this guy, she just doesn't want to do that. She wants to really be with Theo, because they still both kind of have feelings for each other. So that's the plot of this book, and you follow both timelines. So you follow the current day timeline of when they're on this photo shoot, and you also follow the timeline of them in high school, on the things that happened in high school and the things that led up to it, obviously them not being friends anymore. And oh my god, this book is so fun. You are getting both POVs, so it's dual POV and it is in first person, which I really love about this book. And this is very much given summer vibes as well. It is set in somewhere in Italy. Is it Sicily? I want to say it's somewhere in Italy, I know it is, but I'm loving the characters so much. I'm loving the storyline. I'm really loving this plot of them being like friends they were when younger and something happened. I'm really enjoying that, but I feel like I can't 100% judge it at the moment because you haven't really gotten to that romance part of it. Yes, there's been like the tension and all of that sort of stuff. You get the build up to the romance, but there hasn't been any sort of romantic things yet. But the things that have happened so far, they are so cute, and I am really enjoying this book. So I'm probably just going to carry on reading this. I might come back to you before I finish this book. I might come back just after halfway through, do a little check-in, and then once I've done that, maybe just do a check-in once I finish this book. So it's the next day and I've got about 100 pages left of the book. I've actually got it in this like protective dust jacket from Literature Stitches, and it fits like the smaller hardbacks. I don't know what these sizes are called, but this one is meant to be for paperbacks, this size of this protective dust jacket, but it also fits this Afterlight subscription book size, that size, and I've been using it and it's really cute. It's got these like cherries and hearts on, and I absolutely love it, and it's got like a bookmark attached. But I still feel exactly the same about this book. I'm really liking it. I feel like, do I like it as much as the previous book I read? I'm not sure. I feel like it's either a 3.75 or a 4 stars. It's like tipping on one of those, but I'm just gonna have to see how it gets like revealed, and how, if there's a third act breakup at the end and things like that, that will sway my decision on like the what do I call it, star rating of this book. But it's still really good, it's still really fun, so I'm just going to sit here now and just carry on reading it, and then I'm just going to come back once I finish it. So I've now finished this book and I'm settling on giving it a 3.75 because I did really like it and I still stand by everything I said before. But when it came to like the third act conflict slash like breakup, I didn't particularly like that, and if one thing happened, if Theo just fought for her a bit more, I would have loved this book, but I felt like it was lacking in that specific area. Apart from that, this book was amazing, this book was fun, given all the summer romance vibes you want when you're reading the summer romance book. So now I'm just going to go through each book I've read and what I rated it. So the first book I picked up was Hot Summer by Elle Everhart, and I gave this book 4 stars. Then I picked up Under Lock and Key by Lana Ferguson, and I gave this 3 stars. And the last book I picked up was One Last Shot by Betty, I am going to screw this up again, Coyote, I think? I'm not sure, but I gave this 3.75. So overall, I think this was pretty successful. I think it's 100% worth it, the Afterlight subscription, because I absolutely love each book. One thing I will say, when I first got on the subscription sometime last year, the first half of the year they were giving out art prints with each one of those their books, but they don't do art prints right now. And they haven't done since. They haven't done art prints for over a year now, and it's kind of sad because I really love the art prints, but oh well, it is still worth it in my opinion. I do really like it. I like getting introduced to new authors and new books that otherwise I wouldn't have probably picked up. So if you did like this video, do give it a thumbs up, and in the description below will be with the links to all my other social medias, and if you haven't already, do subscribe so you can see more videos from me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!